push yourself out that comfort zone, because I could have been happily in a 9 to 5. I had stability. I wanted to change something because I knew I didn't want to do that forever.
Reason why I really like Brooke, she causes my friend here a huge amount of pain.
Trying to put too much on yourself in one go, that's what makes you think, I can't do it.
Looking at me now because all I see is pain.
Well, 3 months later I had it, and it was COVID and I had to shut. So I woke up on my birthday in COVID with no business and thought, I don't know what to do now.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to another superlative edition, episode even, of Sofa Broker, the world famous property-based podcast with myself, Solly Strickland, and this rather fine gentleman, much travelled gentleman, Mr. Daniel McPeak.
He's going to say it again. That was weeks ago.
Much travelled.
That's when you're off to Nice again?
Anyway.
No, but when are you off to Nice again? And how long are you going for?
I'm going for 2 weeks in August.
Are you staying at your own personal chateau? Or are you going to choose...
One might visit one chateau.
Yeah, are you going to use the pool there, shoot pheasants, drink wine?
I'll drink wine.
Yeah, you'll drink lots of... But what time should I call you to make sure you're not drinking wine?
I'd say 9 in the morning.
yeah. Can
Anyway.
you not try and cut yourself this time?
Cut myself.
Last time you tried to open a tin of tuna or something and you spent an hour doing it and you was that drunk you couldn't even tell me. You was on the phone. You were saying there's blood going everywhere and the blood's making it harder to
Anything goes in August. In August, you know, all sensible people can do what they like, right? Anyway, may I introduce our guest?
Mate, it's your show.
Because we are in for you are in the usual treat of having us two.
Can't even see me, I'm cut out. On this
Are
side
you done yet?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go.
We have an extra special treat, and this is a lady that I've just met for the very first time, but I've heard a huge amount, because this lady,
Hopefully
who
it's all
is
nice.
Brooke from Be Fit. Hello, Brooke.
Thank you for having
Slight
me.
plug.
The reason why I really like Brooke, although I haven't met her until today, is she causes my friend here a huge amount of pain. I think
I do.
on a weekly basis.
She does.
I do.
Yeah. So, Dan, do you want to quickly say hi to Brooke and why Brooke, and then we'll bring Brooke into it, and she can gloat in your misery.
I feel like it's like, would I lie to you at the moment? When I'm like, you know, when they're all standing there. They go, so this is Brooke, but what I'm about to say is actually the truth. This is Brooke, aka Poison Pixie, and she's a bitch. Her job is to make me feel so much pain unnecessarily.
But you look great.
Thank you. We're working on that together. But it's like, she is great. She is brilliant. We've been going there for a long time now, haven't we, Brooke? We've been on this journey, which everyone knows, from the issues I had in the past, I needed something to get things a bit clearer, and you do have to bite the bullet and get someone to help you. You can do stuff on your own, but you really need a little bit more, and you're looking at me now because all I see is pain.
You're thinking of what I'm thinking right now. Yeah.
She did try and make me do a thing last time I was there, right?
The circuit.
A circuit.
Yeah, I did.
And I flatly refused. I said, if you continue
Yep.
to... No, I said...
So when this podcast finishes, I'm legging it.
No, I went, I'm not doing that. And she went, no, this... And I went, no, I'm going to go sit in the car. Because
He actually wouldn't do it.
No,
he would not do it. I tried and it was not happening.
So hang on a minute. Let's wind that back a bit, right? And let's start with you. Hello, Brooke.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. So I got into fitness. Well, I've kind of been into fitness all of my life, really, doing sport, playing football, having horses as well. And over sort of like the last 13 years, I met my husband who plays football, and kind of really got into the fitness industry like that. And for me, I worked a 9 to 5, used to be in the office. And about 8 years ago, I just thought, this isn't for me anymore. And my mum and dad, they was like, you're so into fitness, would you pursue it as a career? So I thought, do you know what? Why not try these things? Really go for it. Because the thing is, if you never try, you never know. Mm-hmm. So I started Be Fit, which I have on my top here.
Stanley put
add that one in. Yeah, I'll add that Be Fit in for that.
Instagram,
Instagram, brookfrench.fitness.
Poison Pixie.
Make sure you follow Poison Pixie.
Are you okay with that? Are you cool with that name?
He's going to start moaning again every time. That's what I look forward to every week, is him moaning at me.
He's a bit clenched at the moment, isn't he? It's like something awful's about to happen.
He's getting a bit nervous. That he's thinking he's in tomorrow.
I'm really enjoying
Am I going to give him a circuit
Brooke, should we do an hour here? Should we not?
No, let's not.
But yeah, I mean, and then from there, I just thought, why not? So I worked a 9 to to 5 in the office and learnt to become a PT. And I was basically doing 2 jobs. I was doing it part-time PTing, but I never wanted to actually work in a commercial gym. It just wasn't for me. I always had a vision and a dream that I wanted my own gym at some point. So I've just worked hard, and the more work I've put in, the more I've got out of it. And here we are. I've now got my own studio, which Daniel comes and trains in. But for me, it was the best decision I've ever made. Like, going in on my own, I've never run a business before in my life. And with my dad had 2 businesses. And he was really like the person that helped me to sort of set everything up, and obviously having his guidance as well. And then from there, I've just worked hard and put the hours in, and now I'm here, and I just absolutely love it.
So
it's the
I
best
think
thing.
that it's interesting that, and why we locking this together into real estate and into different things.
I think
like
it's entrepreneurialism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's about people that are getting out there who actually want to try and do something
Yeah.
For themselves.
And like
100%.
you said, you started up and you was cozy in a job and it was all going well and blah blah blah, but
Yeah.
something weren't fitting.
Yeah.
Pretty much like when Solly, decided I'm staying nice. When Solly decided to leave a very good school.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows what school Solly went to. Stanley put the plug up. And run away from me.
I don't think that's cool.
So,
I was just say, I don't think it needs a plug. There you go.
oh no, but no, Solly, I'm being
Actually, with the
serious.
VAT stuff going on, it might be in trouble.
I'm being bloody serious
Okay,
here,
yeah,
mate.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to be
yeah.
nice to you,
All right.
okay? Because Brooke, she said, she come from a fitness background, she played horse riding and everything.
Yeah.
You used to like riding horses. You also were and this is true, you were a semi-professional cricket player.
Well, I was playing at that level. I
interesting.
was never
Yeah.
paid, but I was getting towards that level.
Yeah, and you could have turned that into something if you so far wanted.
Oddly enough, if I hadn't gone to a school like that, I might well have moved on because,
Why?
well, I think when you go to a school that is so,
What school is it again?
the one you just mentioned,
Oh, right,
but
yeah.
when you go to a place like that where everything is laid on for you, it's it's
Yeah.
ridiculously elitist and everything is there and you're sort of guided towards a financial kind of career. And although I was never going to do
Away
that,
from sport.
yeah, I mean, you could count on one hand how many professional sportsmen went to my school.
Eating.
Yeah, but there have probably more what are they called, more prime ministers from Eton than there have professional sports people.
So, Andy, can you verify that? Is that true?
I think we can probably verify that. I mean, I can only name 1 or 2. But in terms of then, my passion was cricket. It was the only thing I've ever really been good at, quite frankly. I mean, genuinely good at. But you're just not. It's not geared towards taking you any further. And I think, I slightly regret it actually. But then also, what cricket did do in terms of the sort of sport and team and the captaincy. I loved captaining or being vice captain,
Yeah.
being at the centre of it, making decisions. Definitely helps me in what we've been doing for the last few years in terms of dealing with people, arm around the shoulders stuff. You've had a bad day. You probably
and
see it the
that's-
whole time, right?
That's
Yeah.
the point I was trying to put together with Brooke and you to see it. Brooke, you had to do all this, from the beginning on
Yeah.
your own, doing stuff. And, like Solly said, the basis of him doing cricket, the leadership, the way you get through it, probably helped turn him into and shape the person that he was going to be as an agent.
Yeah.
Do you think that being you're into sport and you're into fitness, how did you manage to do all the other bits you need to do? Because you need to run a company, you need to find clients, you need to train,
Yeah.
you need to be good, right? Because
Yeah.
being honest,
Yeah.
I can take the Pepsi challenge with 1 million PTs out there. Right,
Yeah.
so you need to differentiate
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah.
So you need to be able to model yourself.
Yeah.
So that's very similar to agency. So you're sitting there and you're like, "Fuck, what am I going to do?" Because all of a sudden, there's a world of stuff you've got to do.
Yeah.
That isn't.
Become overwhelming.
Yeah.
As well.
So how did you bring it right back down when you decided? Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What did you decide to do? What was
think-
Instagram about back then as well?
Instagram was about, and for me, what it was, I think that when I first started, it was very anxiety because I thought, I don't know where I'm even going to begin with this, but I thought, do you know what? You just try and look at things, look at social media, what other people were doing, just to give you an idea of how to sort of get myself started. So for me, I thought one day at a time, that is it. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. And I've also learned, as I've gone on now, in the business itself is don't take on too much in one go. Because I think this is what, at the beginning, I was trying to do bits here, you know, the accountings, all that sort of stuff. But for me, I thought, right, just one thing at a time. And whatever it's excelling in your business itself, that is your main focus. Like for me, you know, there's a lot of online coaches out there. I do online, but my main focus is PTing, personal training, one-to-ones. And that scale of my business is the main part of it. And for me, I always love being with people. But starting off the business itself, I just every day just thought, okay, write it down. Where do I want to be in this month? You know, how many clients do I want?
Clever.
You know, doing it like that, just breaking it down in that way. Social media, for me personally, if I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on social media. That's just for me. Because I think there is a lot out there that it does put pressure on you. Because you think, well, if they're doing that, should I be doing that? And then it becomes a bit like...
get busier.
But also got to think and be positive, which there's a two-part here, but if there's obviously they're going to be people who are thinking the same about you. You know, you always think, oh God, their life look at that agent, look at that amazing property in our world. God, they're doing well. But then you probably look at people. There are probably people out there look at us and go, wow, what an amazing career they've got. And so you've probably got to think
it's the pros and the cons with it.
That there are people looking at you going, Jesus, she's got a cool looking business.
Oh, thank you very much.
One of the things that we always talk about is this whole, you talked about it then, is the sort of drive, the sort of the USP factor. You know, with us, we probably come as two. So our USP is how different we are, you know, with different backgrounds, but we have the same kind of vision, and we sort of treat people the same way. All the things that make us different are funneled into a really turbocharged version of how we deal with people.
Yeah.
So what's the sort of USP, but what's the bit that you had that you thought, I'm different, you know?
I'm different. I think for me, it's never been a job for me. I love being with people. I love helping people. That's just my personality. And starting BeFit and why I wanted to do it is that I knew I could make change. Not even physically changing somebody's life, you know, a transformation, but the mental side of things. I think so many people are out there now that are too scared to even go in a gym. They're not confident. And for them, there we go. And then for them as well, I think having that confidence, not even just in the gym, but in, you know, work-life balance and stuff like that, that you want to be able to stand out a bit and just want to sort of put yourself, you know, out of the comfort zone, because nothing will change if you're in the comfort zone. And I learned that in my business itself. At the beginning, I thought I need to change some little bits at the start to try and push myself out there, move online, go on social media, get myself behind the camera, like obviously I'm doing today, on social media itself, doing the reels, that sort of thing. For me, talking to a camera at the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Yeah. But I thought nothing's going to change. I'm going to be stuck. So I'm the only one that's going to be able to push forward. And in my business, it is just me. I'm on my own. It's just a one-man band. But
you're a woman.
Well, you know what I mean. As they would say, one-man band. But
you're physically fit. So do you think the fact that you're physically fit means that that gives you the mental capacity to do all those things, the things that you don't want to do? So there's no sort of what do you call it? There's no laziness quotient that says, oh, sorry, I can't do accounting. I can't, because you're fit. Yeah. Physically, and that probably translates to your mental situation. Is that going to help?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like with the accounting side, I mean, at school, I wasn't the best at maths, so I'm not going to lie. So I have got an accountant that does all my accounts for me, because I took one look first time and I thought, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. So I have got an accountant that does all that for me. But everything, the social media, email marketing, all of my online plans that I've got, all my online coaching, I do everything. But what I try and do is about prioritising what is the main factor right now. So for me, at the minute, my PT, as Daniel would know, I do a lot of hours, like, you know, up to 14, 15 a day, which is a lot. But I just love doing it. I don't see it as like, oh, I've got to go and do that today. Like, that being my own boss was the best decision I ever made doing
When you made that decision to do yourself, financially, was you able to make that decision, or was the element of risk must have been there anyway, right? Because sometimes it can all go wrong. I know when you're getting into agency, and for the people out there that are thinking of doing it, it's always a big risk, because you've got like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months before any money comes in, and you're weighing money out and you're spending it. So how did you think, right, it is worth the risk, you know, and you're going to dedicate, and I know you do because of the amount of hours that you work, you're dedicate yourself to doing that.
Yeah.
And what I kind of get from you is there's a constancy. Right,
Consistency.
Stanley, get that in the thing. Constancy, right? Consistency done right.
Does that get in the January?
Yeah, it does. No, it goes in. It goes in.
Where is this myth? By the way, we have something called a Danuary, which is Dan's version of a word that sort of exists.
He's made this word up.
So he gets sort of to 70% of a word that actually exists, and then we sort of morph it into something.
Yeah, I do hear a
there's
lot of this
book.
in the studio as well. He'll come out with some words like this, and I'm thinking, what is he actually
It's
saying?
like his French.
But we just go along with it.
His French
That's
is
it.
Spanish.
That's
you know,
it.
exactly.
Listen. So what made you?
We're here to bully you today.
Yeah, we are.
No,
Yeah.
I'm staying quite quiet. So,
I'm so enjoying this.
I feel slightly scared. So, look, what I'm saying is, how did you decide? Right, I'm going to walk away from that. I'm going to walk away from everything, security and whatever, and make the decision to do it.
I was young, and I thought, do you know what? If you don't try, I'll never know.
Hold on a minute. Stop, Brooke. Shh. Huh. So
Go
you
on.
can do it. Yeah. She said, I was young. You ain't even 30 yet, love.
I am.
When was you 30?
I'm 32, thanks.
You're not.
I am.
So when did you start Be Fit?
It will be 7 years this year.
So you were 25.
There's an actual...
We said about the math being no good.
I was
didn't we?
under 30, let's put it that way. I was under 30. When you get over 30, that's when things...
Actually, we shouldn't be talking about your age, really, should we?
No, it's okay, I don't mind.
That's an extra lap you're going to have to do the next time you...
No, we don't do laps.
The thing
mate.
is, I'm making a mental note, so when he comes in tomorrow, he's going to get
There's
hell.
no
He's
laps.
going to get hell from me tomorrow.
She's looking at you like, be nice.
He knows what
be
I'm
nice.
thinking in my head. I do this laugh, don't I, in my head.
She does. She does. She doesn't listen, right? Getting off point a bit, but it's important.
Go on.
She lays in bed at night thinking, how can I torture Dan?
Please be all right.
Yeah, where's he going with this?
No. It's like she's laying in bed next to her husband at night thinking, how can I torture Dan?
Yes.
Right? And I know she is. Because she comes in
I've
and
been doing it 15 years.
And there's
mentally.
all that weird stuff in the room, right, that we have. And she'll come up with another way of torturing me with something. And I'm like, right, okay. And I look at her like, it's interesting. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And how did you come up with that then, Brooke? And she's like,
So do you concentrate on his weaknesses then?
Absolutely.
So, because
I want to crack it.
Because we all have things
trying
that.
to do.
I mean, I haven't been to a gym since I was about 18. So, for me, I'm fascinated by the mental health side of it because I've known him and he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
And that's the bit I'm really interested in about physical. So I played my first game of cricket the other day, which is not physically demanding.
Congratulations.
But it was the first game I played for, and you know that those Sundays when I used to disappear down to Kent and play cricket,
You loved it.
I'd come back and my phone would be off. I'd be in a field in the middle of God knows where, and you can't. All you can do is concentrate on a hard red ball and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, we're still talking about cricket, right? Not you in the middle of a field with a hard red ball.
The smack of leather upon willow, the
I
smell of
whoa.
cut grass,
Easy
you know,
take
all
that.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The cricket teacher.
Yeah.
But it made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
I bet it
And I'm
does.
guessing with him, because you've been pivotal in his sort of, rejuvenation, I guess. It's probably a fair word, right?
Yeah, I'll take that,
Yeah.
You know, and so it's true. The physical thing is
It's the endorphin release it gives you, definitely. And I feel like it gives you like a focus. I mean, at the time when you're actually training, I mean, when I train myself, some of the sessions I do are horrendous. And I
Talk to
think,
that a little
how
bit,
am
right?
I?
Because like Iron Man, the stuff that goes
The film?
on. No.
Oh, is
Like
that when they run around and then do swimming
when
and
they're,
bicycles
when they're like nutty.
for like 24
Yes.
hours? Yeah.
That's me.
That's
Do you do that?
I do, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
I do a lot of
Do you do it because you like
crazy
doing it or do you do it
stuff.
for charity?
I love
or?
doing it. I love challenging myself. That is my thing.
She does it when she's away. She goes to her husband. Oh, we're going away to Dubai or wherever it is, and I've got some really good stuff set up for us to do, and it's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Have you done that sand thing they do, like a desert run?
Sandboarding?
No, not sand. No, they run in the desert for like hours, and it's like people.
No, I've not done
like,
that.
Don't come back, sort of stuff. No, okay, forget it.
No, I've not done that one.
Just trying to immerse myself in your
Okay,
world
it's
of
a new one I can add to my
physical
bucket list
madness.
to do.
Yeah. So you did that, and you decided, right? You was young enough to get into it.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna get into it. So you got into it. So what did you start? You said you writ everything down. This month I'm going to do this. This month I'm going to do that. Was there a point when you thought this ain't going to happen?
Yeah.
Or this is too hard?
Yeah.
And I think everyone has that.
I think
so-
I think everyone does.
all
I
been
mean, there
there,
is a moment I sat there and thought, what am I actually doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Wouldn't it be easy to just go work for a gym?
it would be, but I'm someone who don't want to give in to easy. I want to
Yeah,
challenge
shit.
myself to, I think you just got to really push yourself out there and just push yourself out that comfort zone. Because I could have been, happily in a 9 to 5. I had stability, and I go on nice holidays and do things like that. But I wanted to change something because I knew I didn't want to do that forever. And when I decided to, step away from that and go into obviously having my own business and doing it, it was just that excitement of knowing, like, I know I can do this. But there was anxiety at the beginning. I think with anyone starting a business, you think, where's it going to end up?
Yeah.
And that's what excites me, is that I know I can push myself to do it. And then at the beginning itself, it was like some days, some weeks I'd be like, yeah, it's going well. Other week I'd be like, don't want to talk to anyone. Just felt like it was all a little bit too much. But before I went into it, I thought, okay, let me get a plan. I made sure I saved up enough to be able to take the jump. But the funny story of it is that I was basically renting the studio I'm at now. So it never used to look like what it looks like now. Somebody else had it before me and they didn't want a PT anymore. And they said, would you want to take the gym on? So I thought, do you know what? Don't try, I never know. So I thought, okay, let's go for it. Well, 3 months later, I had it and it was COVID and I had to shut. And then now I'm thinking,
Ouch.
right, what am I going to do? Because I'm thinking all of my prime, business was one-to-one PT and we couldn't see anyone. I was thinking, what do I do? I was just sitting there. I remember talking to Lewis, my husband, and he was like, Brooke, you will know what to do. He just said, just take a week just to see. But the worst thing is that we went into lockdown on the 23rd of March and my birthday was the next day on the 24th. So I woke up on my birthday in COVID with no business and thought, I don't know what to do now. What am I going to do? And I thought, right, let's just take the rest, a few days, just to, get my head around it. And I thought, okay, best time now, social media. Everyone we know on Instagram. I thought, give out some free workouts, do that sort of thing. So people started seeing me, and it was that I was caring about other people. They're like, oh, look, she's giving out free workouts. Want to help everyone. Mentally, COVID was a hard time, and obviously affected a lot of people. But yeah, I just wanted to get out there, put myself out there. My Instagram started growing from then because I think people wanted to see, which I was giving them, it was just about, everyone getting community together. And then from there, my following started growing and growing. And like the views on the live workouts I was doing was growing as well. And then obviously we had the COVID, I think it was about 3 months. And then we was allowed to start PTing one-to-one with another household. So I then went back to the studio, and where Daniel will know, I've got big doors on my studio. I opened them up and got people to come in one-to-one like that, but mainly outside.
And so they were paying at that point?
Yeah, at that point, yeah. But, for 3 months, nothing. It was literally...
Wow, scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
So, but actually it was scary, but it was also the making of you.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So
because I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up
because
with
if it had been really easy,
Yeah.
then maybe you'd have just expected the whole thing to be easy.
Yeah.
You've got to have that pain and then...
You've got to have... I think
It taught you how to do marketing.
Yeah, how to get myself out there. And then from then, people... all the free stuff I was giving out, people are like, oh, actually, she does really care about people. And that's always been like that. Yeah. That is my thing. That is why I got into doing what I do, because I love helping people. Transforming somebody's life is the best thing for me. Like, people get bonuses at work. But for me, that is a bonus to me, to be able to change someone's life.
That's interesting.
She's got a picture of me on the wall.
You have? Yeah, I have.
In the beginning, like when
Does Joe know this?
Yeah.
When I started and now.
Yeah.
Really?
You're never allowed to come to the gym, by the way. He's never allowed in. He'd never get his Volvo through the wall.
On that note, actually, that's interesting because you've from the entrepreneur, from the business side of it, you've done that thing and you've had the horror of the COVID and the fear of actually making the decision and stuff, but also having someone fantastic by your side, which is what we tell all our sort of emerging brokers. Make sure you got a partner who's totally behind you, otherwise it's difficult.
Yeah.
So if there are people watching this thinking, and I'm probably looking in the mirror slightly, but if there are people out there thinking from the other angle, the client angle, how do I get into this? What's going to make me send you a message on Instagram going, I've seen you on the podcast. What do I do next? How do I, what's the next step for someone on the other side?
Yeah.
Because I think for someone like me at my age with the lack of physicality, and I don't think I'm the only one that in my life recently, that is a hard thing for me to think about, even though I know the benefits. I've seen it with my own eyes, and listening to you is amazing. What do they? How can you help them get across that particular barrier? Do you think?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? Most of my clients have all been referrals. So, clients that have come to me, which is quite interesting because at the beginning, it was really like family and friends I was training as well, putting the content up, people seeing it. And ever since then, I would probably say 90% of my clients have all been referrals, which is the best thing for me, because obviously they've experienced with me, and then obviously they've told their friends and then come like that. But it's been such a nice, like the whole last 7 years that I've done, that I've become such good friends with clients as well. Like we go out, like the weekend that just went, I went to a festival with a couple of clients as well, my husband, and it was just nice. I think it's just that whole community vibe. And then on Instagram, people obviously see me on there. I think it's just what I thought that sets me out differently is that like the advice and stuff I'm giving out, it's it's not got to be this. I think there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm just straight to the point. This is different reels that I do, that sort of thing, and just honest. I think being honest, people can see that on my Instagram. But I think when people like come to me as well, it's just like the referral side of things for me, knowing that someone's already been to me and then, referred me, to their friends. That's the best thing you can ask for, because it's constantly like always going to be rolling like that. But 90% of my clients probably would say have been with me for the 7 years, which is amazing. Wow. Yeah.
So I found her, right, when I was like, I'm going to start getting a PT or whatever.
Yeah.
And I found, because you can interview them. Not that I did, right? Because, I can't be bothered.
I think he was
right, so I went for... No. There was a couple of geezers, right?
So just to clarify that, you found her just by accident. This wasn't a referral
it was Instagram. No, it weren't.
Website,
yeah.
Right. There you go.
So I put in a couple of bits, personal trainer near, me, near me, don't want to walk.
That's a good start.
Yeah, don't have to go far. Yeah. And a couple of geezers come. One of them was like,
well, I was going to mention that because every time you see a pic, they're like enormous Brooks. I want to go and see that.
Yeah, and then
it's like walking into an estate agent, everyone's in suits going, "Hello, can I help you?"
And
it's
then
the same
there was some guy that was, I can do it. I can train you in your garden. I can do this. I can do that. And I was like, whoa, I ain't putting up for none of this, right? And then I thought, I wonder if there's any female trainers. Because I thought they'd be easier.
Softer,
they'd be easier.
He got it wrong.
And then I see Brooke and I was like, all right, okay. And I remember, so I went in there. And
did you read reviews?
No, not really. I was like, it's within 10 minutes of my house, done. Right. So, and first of all, you have to meet each other first, right? You can't just go, I'm going to work out and do it.
Face to face.
See, you meet her and I'm like, I'm a geezer, she's probably just women. Because that's me being a bloke, that's what I'm thinking in my head, right? It's just, it's just going to be a load of birds running around there, right? So I went round and I did it, and it was like, it went really well.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first day she trained me, I thought I was going to die. No, genuinely.
I do remember that.
Do you remember the amount of sweat?
I do.
After about 15 minutes, I was so dead. I was standing there, leaning up against the fence, and I'm like, I need an ambulance and a kebab.
Do you know what though? I do hear this quite irregularly on the weekly. He does this when he starts moaning in the session.
People eat like mad after.
Yeah, he goes, "You got the defib anywhere?" I'm like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, I do. I need oxygen. Regularly.
That's
I'm sweating
regular,
just thinking about it. Actually, it's really hot.
But and I think what's the reason that we're doing all this? I think it is really important to have that release. Right, you got it with cricket, and now you've stopped.
Yep.
Right now,
there's a million people out there watching this.
Yeah, no, there's not, is there? But well done, right? Because that's what happens, right? That's what happens to me.
That's what Brooke thinks.
Yeah, but you get fat, and you need someone that turns around.
Are you allowed to say that?
Well, someone needs to turn around and go, "Yeah, listen, you're fat. I can make you not fat. Do you want to get involved?"
And it can be someone, or it can be the mirror. One day you just go look at yourself, and go, got to do something about this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's why most people do it. Vanity, right?
Yeah.
It was me when it was like XXXXL. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's coming down to my knees, the T-shirt now. You're looking like that. So it's the same thing with your cricket. Is keeping up with doing stuff, and it's unfortunate you don't do it no more because you was a lot trimmer when you used to do it regularly.
Yeah, and it's not the physicality of it. It's just I think it was doing it.
The mental side. That's what I'm on about.
We talked about metabolism earlier. It probably had something some sort of ongoing effect in terms
Is that a big thing? Do people join
now,
PTs?
now it is. I think since COVID, the whole fitness industry has changed massively. Definitely,
have people got bigger?
It's
I've noticed.
Yeah, I think
men are bigger.
No, I think more like the mental side of things. Like people that are coming to me, like before it used to be, I've got a holiday coming up, I've got a wedding or something like that.
Yeah.
So 12 weeks, that sort of thing. But since COVID, people just want to train to feel better in themselves.
Yeah.
That is, I'm noticing that a lot more, which is obviously great for us because that's what I want it for, not just the short term, it's longevity. Obviously, as you get older, you've got to think about, as you're getting older in life, movement as you get older, that sort of thing. And I'm thinking more now, people are noticing since the whole COVID, your health is so important. Yeah. Sometimes you take it for granted and, it can bite you back on the arse basically. But I think now it's just actually thinking to yourself, like, I need to look after myself for the longevity.
Yeah. So do you think that, so young guys and girls that are starting out doing this as well, even and they can't afford a PT, they can't get into that bit, but they're understanding they want to do something. What top tips, what's the top 3 tips they can do for free, in their bedroom or whatever to keep something going?
Just even like research. I mean, I did a lot of stuff for like YouTube. You can get a lot of stuff from there. And just sort of doing your own sort of research, Instagram, looking what other people are doing. Okay, like even like asking them, messaging them, I'm really interested in what you're doing, like especially like PT and, how did you get started? I've had a couple of people message me and saying like, Brooke, I've seen what you've done. Like, how did you sort of get started with it? And it actually felt really nice, someone asking me, because I never thought anyone would ask me.
So have you thought about expanding and creating a Team Brooke? Or is it happening?
Poisonpixie.com.
Get a few of them.
He's on something.
Yeah, I have. I think for me, like, I would love to grow the business, obviously, massive. I think that's everybody's dream, having a brand that you can,
Look at the Gymshark guy.
grow. Exactly, yeah.
He's about 19 or something.
Yeah, mental. And I just think, like, for me, I love doing it on my own. I would like the help, because obviously going forward, I can't keep up the hours forever. But it's finding someone I can trust with the brand that I've built. And I think that's just something personally for me that I need to learn to let that go. So yeah, at the moment, I think I can manage everything very well by myself, but ideally I would like a team, in the next 5 years, even 2 years, to actually have a team that are going to then help grow it with me. But it's finding that right.
Do you think it's control over the day-to-day bits and the feedback?
Yeah,
or is it
I think because I've always done it on my
PT. But is it brand control? Do you think, because this does correlate with what we do in terms of, we get independents who've got great little local presence and they've got a great logo and they've made up, they've used social media properly, but they can't go any further because it's just the marketplace is tough or whatever it might be. And then they come and look at us and see how they can be a part of a team and retain their identity. I mean, is that something that maybe holds you back a bit, that you'll lose your identity?
I think it's that, going back to, like, I like a challenge and stuff, but for me, I think, it's that, because I've built it up from nothing, and obviously I built this brand on my own, and it's like letting my baby sort of, branch its way out, but I will have to do it at some point. But my dream is to have a whole team and that I grow the brand much bigger.
So if someone's sitting at home or whatever and they can't, some people can't afford to get a PT, and that's good, and they want to just do something themselves. Some people are too embarrassed to go out. They get ideas of what they look like, right, which is terrible, and think that no one else can see me, right? I mean, because I remember the time that you said a guy come up to me and said, "Can we train topless?" And you were like, "Don't think so, John."
Well, that took a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, would it be all right if I took my top off and was working out?" And you was like, "Yeah, all right, have a jog on." But
what's the question?
Imagine they do want to try and do something themselves, and they're worried about looking great or looking stupid, but they still want to have a go. So they're going to do it in their bedroom, or they're going to go for it. What is the top 2 tips they could be doing regularly that's going to somehow improve them? Yeah,
I think for them is to find a habit. I think what people do is that they try and do too much too quickly. To sort of break it down, they could do, live workouts on YouTube, Instagram. There's so much free content out there. But I think, for them, if they're getting into it, just break it down. I think trying to put too much on yourself in one go, that's what makes you think, I can't do it, I'm going to stop.
So if I went and bought one kettlebell off of Amazon, 16k kettlebell, and did stuff with that, I could find some stuff
online,
just copying that.
My Instagram
3 times
has
a week.
some live workouts on there, so there'll be some free live workouts on there. There's so much stuff online now, Instagram, TikTok, people's websites, YouTube. You can just go on there and log in and be able to do it. So much free content out there. But I think people trying to do the jump to actually do it, because it's very easy to be at home and, you're sitting there and you think, I'll do it in 5 minutes. Next thing you know, you've scrolled on TikTok for an hour and you're like, it's too late, I'm going to bed now. So I think even like reaching out to somebody on Instagram like myself and just saying like, I need a bit of help. Like, I'd love to do that. I mean, I have done that before. People have reached out to me like, look, would you be able to help me? And I give out free advice. You just ask somebody and just say, look, would you be able to just help me? Because you never know. If you don't ask, you'll never know. So, I've done, quite a few people now that are like that have asked and reached out. I'll put like an Instagram reel up. And they've gone, asked a question on it, and I'll go back to them. Then they'll message me privately and like, would you mind just explaining a little bit more, and I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here. That's what my job is, to help people, build their confidence and, get into it. But not even just for like, physically, but mentally, like, in your life, you want to try and become the best version of yourself. And, that's my job to be able to do that.
And you're branching out now into, what is it, like, people that have had kids or having kids currently.
Yes. Yeah.
Currently we're pregnant. Not us, but that.
Okay.
Paul
Wow.
said that earlier to me. I hope I can say that, Paul, because I'm going to say it. So, Paul's wife's having
really?
a baby. Yeah, he was all
my
happy
sister
about
is
it.
as well. My
So
sister's
aren't you reaching out into sort of people that are working out now and doing that? And that's become a new thing.
It has, yeah.
So how to train people when they're pregnant?
Post-pregnancy. That is one interesting stat that when obviously I learned to do the course and everything, 85% of women will stop training when they're pregnant. And the main reason is because they're scared, because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So for me, I found there was an opportunity there in that, that field, is that I can help women to be able to do that. So I learned how to, become fully qualified as a specialist. So I do pre and postnatal, menopause as well, I'm a specialist in, and women's health in general.
So hang on a minute. Aren't you really just trying to get babies into like working out from a really young age?
Yeah.
So they're coming to you.
That's it. Yeah.
You're torturing them, aren't you?
There we go. Yeah.
You're right. And so look, it was great having Brooke on. It's great having Solly on all the time, and everyone wishes that he could get a little bit more into cricket. So because he was good, he was brilliant. Once upon a time, he was. So Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Apple.
Netflix.
Netflix. Oh, okay, that's good.
Netflix.
Where's the check?
At least I'm trying to do it. Apple, YouTube, Spotify, and all the other ones that I can never be bothered to mention. And we'll all see you next time.